All right, this is the last video in my series of graphing, calculator programming, and the 8th grade standards. If the class expands past one semester, maybe I'll do more. Or maybe if the demand is there for my students, either through the iTunes U course or in my classes, I can do more. But this is sort of a letting go for me, and so we're going to finish up by having our calculator program, giving it an equation and telling it how to graph that equation. And some of this is a little bit redundant, but because of the functionality of the graphing calculator, but I want to do it so that you sort of highlight some of the capabilities of the graphing calculator. So, a couple things we need to know before we start. Um, we're going to have a manual fit where the person gets to set X-min, X-max, Y-min, and Y-max on their own. And that just is what X starts at, what X goes to, what Y starts at, and what Y goes to. There are the auto fit, which is zoom 0, and quadrant 1, which is a zoom option only available when you're programming. The other thing you need to know is that the calculator sees equations as strings, so that's important. So when we ask for the um, equation, we need to store it as a string. So we're going to start a new program. We'll call it line plotter, Lin, line PLTTR, line plotter. My daughter's here, so she's probably going to make some noise. Daddy's recording, okay, babe? All right. So, first thing we need to do is put in our normal 3 lines. Clear home. I like a nice clear home. Put your name on it. Display by me, the Math Prophet. And then we need to pause. Press enter. All right. Now we need to ask for the equation. So program, we're going to input, and then we're going to ask them equation to plot. EQN for equation to plot. And remember that is a string, so we need to store that as in a string variable. So vars string here 7 string 1, and I don't know if you can put y1 right there, but now we're going to take string 1 and store it into a y variable. And so I have y vars there, and I have a function, and so y1. So that will take an equation and put it into y1. So, and I'm going to test it. So I'm going to run my program. I see it's number 6 there. And my equation will be 3x plus 1. And I'm going to press y equal and see, hey, we have 3x plus 1 there. Good. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to edit my line plotter because now we need to do the zoom options. So now we want to have the menu. So we're going to program in a menu. menu, and we're going to title it Zoom. It's in the refrigerator behind my cream. Make sure the door gets closed though. Zoom options. That's the title. And so then I need to comma. My first option will be quadrant 1. Quadrant 1. Forgot to turn alpha off. Quadrant 1. And we'll make that label A. The next one is autofit. Autofit. We'll make that label B. And then we'll make manual, UAL, manual, and we'll make that option C. One of our longest lines of code there, the whole series. Menus often get very long. All right. So now we have the equation in. Now we need to start doing this. All right. So this is pretty easy. For label A, we have 9. Label A is quadrant 1. So if you press zoom, we're going to go down here to find quadrant 1. Zoom fit is what we'll do for 2. So quadrant 1. And now we're going to put a pause in there. And we're going to put a pause in there. And then, because I don't know if you remember from 2 programs ago in list 1, we don't want label B or label C to run. So we're going to hit a pause in there so that they can press enter. And there will be a little thing going off up here, you'll see. And then we'll put a stop in here, and then an end. I'd love to test this, but since we don't have a label B and a label C yet, we need to put those in. So I think it's number 9, label alpha B, and I'm going to put an end in, and label alpha C. And I'm just doing this so I can test label A. Program 7. Alright, so now I'm going to quit here. And I'm going to run it. Equation to plot. And I'm going to still stick with 3x minus 1. I don't know if I did plus 1 before. And I'm going to do quadrant 1. Oh, see, it still has the list that I did from last time. But you can see these little shaking, dancing dots up here. This says it's waiting for a pause. When I press enter, the program is done. So it didn't go on to do the other thing, so that's great. So I'm going to continue with the program. So I'm going to edit line plotter number 6. Go down here. Now, see if you can do label B on your own. Instead of zoom quadrant 1 and pause, and then stop, we're going to do zoom fit. Whoops. Add a few lines here. So under label B, program. It just occurred to me I don't think I need the stop there. No, I definitely need to stop there. Never mind. I don't know that I need the pause there. Nope, I'm not here. I'm under zoom. That's what I get for thinking while trying to code. Zoom fit here is the auto. And I forgot what I did up here. So zoom, and then I did pause, and then I did stop. For this one, I'm just going to go ahead. I'll see if I can skip the pause and put the stop right here. Program F. And now let's check it. Or run it again. I'll do a different program, maybe -2x, different equation, I mean, +3. And I want to do the auto fit. There we get the line. Let's see if it errors. Nope, it's good. So I can get rid of that pause. All right, I'm going to quit. Now I'm going to go back and edit line plotter. All right. So this is working good, but I can get rid of this. So I'm going to clear that. That. Just to tighten my code up a little bit here. Delete. Delete. We're good there. Now label C is a lot more complicated because it's going to be the manual fit here. I want to add some lines in here. Alright, so we need to ask the user these things. Xmin, Xmax, Ymin, and Ymax. So, and then I want to show you where those are. Those are also under vars, under window. So, program, input, we want X, min, comma, and now the Xmin is under vars. If you see here, the first one is window, and there's several things here. We're going to just use Xmin, Xmax, Ymin, and Ymax. Xmin. Now, see if you can do the other four. All right, so we have Xmin, program, input, X, M, A, X. And that's number 2. All right, input, Y, min, and that goes under Y min for, and then the last one is Y max. Input Y M A X. And then comma. Whoops, it's under vars. Y max. Now we have an end. And we don't need to stop in this one because it's at the end. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. Alright, my equation, I'll do 5x minus 2. I know quadrant 1 works, I know autofit works. I'm going to go from -10 to 10 on the x. If I plug -10 in here, I'm going to get something like -48. So I'm going to go -50 to 50 on the y. Oh, now I got an error. I'm going to go to end. So why didn't it work? So here, anytime you hit a zoom, it automatically graphs it. But we didn't graph it. So we need to make sure we graph it. So it just got here and nothing to do. So we need to, whoops. So I have that. Check the window. The window is set up correctly. So I'm going to turn these stat plots off. Graph it. So that's my line that I did before. Again, that's that. And then the window, that's what I wanted to do. Alright, so we still need to graph it. We need to edit. We're in line plotter. So we know it all works except for it's not plotting it at the end. Go down to my label C. Xmin goes in, Xmax goes in, Ymin, and Ymax. And so we need to have it plot here. Whoops, I think I... Alright, hopefully this works. I accidentally stopped the recording at the end of the last one, and so I'm adding this on to the end. So we have an error, and it's super easy to fix. So it's not displaying. And so if I want to display text, I put display. If I want to display a graph, I wonder if there was some magic command that would actually, display graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to program, and oh, right there, look, display graph. So now I'm going to quit and run my program, and I'm going to put in 5x minus 2. I think that's what I had before. Manual fit xmin was negative 50 to actually it was negative 10. Let's go to 50, and then let's go from negative 1,000 to 1,000. If I put 50 in, 50 times 5 is 250, so I think that will be plenty of space in the Y. Let's hit enter, and there we go. There's our graph. Oh. I'm going to just go ahead and enter a stop there, see if that fixes my error. I definitely saw my plot, so I'm going to do that again. I have 5x minus 2. This time I'm going to do manual. I'm going to do it from negative 10 to 10. Emily, please be quiet. I'm almost done. And from negative 50 to 50. And there we go. That's the last video in the series. I hope you have enjoyed learning how to program with the graphing calculator.